Hello. So today we're going to be doing an exciting video. I'm excited for it. I'm going to show you how to put animations on your screen using iMOVIE. So I use iMOVIE to edit. When I first started this, I Googled some things. I picked up some, tricks. So I want you to see the same things I did. So before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed before you leave and give this video a thumbs up. It helps me out. If you want to see more videos like this, kind of like behind the scenes basics of iMovies kind of situation, I'd be happy to do that. Just give this video a thumbs up to let me know, or comment down below and let me know your request. And then follow me on my makeup related Instagram. All that stuff is always down below. Let's dive right in. We have my assistant here, hard at work. So we're basically starting off with Canva. Now, Canva is a free website. It's canva.com. You sign into an account. And then I'm going to hit create a design, and I'm going to go to the YouTube thumbnail because they have the dimensions that I already want. So the first thing I do is go to the background, and I'm going to change this background to green because when we imported it into the video, I want it to be imported as a green background. You'll see why in a minute. Then I'm going to just type subscribe because we're going to be animating a subscribe button. I go in and I kind of change how I want this to be. So like this is obviously personal preference. You don't have to do what I'm doing, but this is, how I felt. So since you have the free version, the ones with the crowns next to them are the pro version, which I'm assuming costs money. And if you click on that one accidentally, this pops up and you're like, no, I don't want that. I want the free version. So I kind of just played around with font, made it bigger, Then I went into Elements, and Elements actually has a ton of stuff. And I had already looked at what they had, but basically you would just search for YouTube or subscribe or something, and then you can add the image. The only problem with the actual subscribe button that they provided, there was a watermark and you had to upgrade. And I didn't feel like doing that. So I made everything kind of cohesive here. I just need to go over to, you just go over to download, and there's a couple different options. You can just download it straight to your computer. You can email it to someone as a PDF. And then I was playing with if I wanted it to be a JPEG or a PNG. I don't know if that's actually what you call it, but a PNG. And I ultimately chose PNG, and then you hit download, and then it's really, really quickly. And then it just pops up in your downloads. So next thing I went into was, that's a great picture of me, by the way. Next thing I went into, I created a movie, but in my animations folder, I have a couple stock things that I would use. I just imported the footage that we just created, so the subscribe button, and then you just drag that on top. So when you first drag it in, it's going to have the Ken Burns effect, which I kind of slowed down to show you what it was. I personally didn't want this, so I went and I just hit fit, and then that stops the Ken Burns effect. Then you go in and you change it from cutaway to a green blue screen, and so now it's an overlay on your image. Now this is very basic stuff. I then went into the audio and I hit the bottle cork, and I just wanted it to pop up. So the noise that it makes was that popping sound that you just heard. So, that's pretty much Canva. That was basically it. I just, it's very, very basic. So next we're going to talk about Keynote. And when you open Keynote, you're going to open a new document. Then you will select wide and then the white presentation and then open it. And I always kind of scale it back just so I can see the whole thing and get rid of that text that's always on there. Then we're going to make our background green again, and then we're going to add the subscribe text. And then again, personal preference, how you want the subscribe to be when it hits your screen. So I ultimately chose American typewriter, and then I just moved it to where I want it to be. Okay, so that's where I wanted it to be. And now we're going to go in and animate what we just put down. So you're going to go up to the top next to the format, and it's going to be animate. We're going to do a build in. So this is how it appears on the screen when you first, you know, when it first comes on the screen, that's a build-in. So I just went through and I was kind of choosing what I wanted it to be. And they have a bunch of different options. So like you can definitely choose one that, you know, makes you feel good. So then I'm going to kind of change the duration. And then you can always hit preview so that it shows you exactly how long it would take for it to appear onto the screen. And then I wanted to add an arrow because I wanted it to be like a mouse pointer. But I didn't like the arrow that was available there. So I went into insert and I went into line with arrowhead because I felt like it was more editable. So I just wanted to make it a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to, you know, customize how big or small I wanted each side to be. And then eventually just drag it down into the corner to be right on top of the subscribe button. And then I also wanted it to be a little bit angled so that it kind of did look like a computer mouse. And yeah, that's pretty much how I got the arrow there. So I made the background of the subscribe red so it really did look like a subscribe button. And now we're going to animate the arrow. So you click on the item that you want to animate and then you hit add an effect. So I actually did the action before the build-in, which kind of messed things up. So I suggest doing the build-in before the action, but I'll show you in a minute. So when you do build order, it'll show you like how everything appears when you are like previewing it for when you want to export it. So I was just kind of playing around with everything. I kind of liked the jingle, but I wanted to add my build-in next. Okay, so for the build-in for the mouse, I wanted it to just appear as like the same time as the subscribe. So I went into build order and I just made sure that everything like was going to be right after the transition because I'm not clicking through anything. It's just going to be right after the transition. So that was what we were working with. I kind of didn't want the move to be there. And I eventually kind of moved that out of the way. And so, yeah, that was pretty much the finished product. And I was pretty happy with that. So then I changed the delay. So I just went into build order again. And then I changed the delay of everything because I wanted it to kind of be different, like a different timing. So yeah, so I just went in and I did that for each one. And then I also made everything a little bit longer by going into the duration of each build, or each action rather. So I just made it a little bit longer to how I liked it, you know. And then I decided to do a build out because I felt like I just needed it. So I went in and I just changed the action to what I wanted it to be, changed the duration again, and that was pretty much it. And then I just did the same thing for the arrow, and I think I did, yeah, I think I did the exact same. So yeah, then I edited the build order just to make sure everything went really smooth and the subscribe and the arrow disappeared at the same time because that was like important to me. It's what I wanted it to be. So yeah, this was pretty much the finished product. And yeah, I thought it was cute. All right, so the next thing you do, you just have to export it. So you go to export to, and I always do a movie, and then I always do 1080p when I'm exporting, just because it's like a higher resolution. And then I go back into iMOVIE and I add what I just created into my iMOVIE. So yeah, finished product. Thought it looked nice. You can add like that bottle cork sound again if you would like, but I didn't for this time. All right, so that kind of concludes the video. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you use those tools in your next video. I'd love to see it. Yeah, so that's pretty much the end of this video. Again, let me know if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. I'd love to do it. Just give me a request down below or give this video a thumbs up so that I know. All right, Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!